It is this generation's Jetsons meet the Flintstones, or an attempt by the Walt Disney Company to attach something it does own to something that it doesn't and hope that the rising tide raises all ships. Mickey Mouse and Bluey are officially crossing over, and we're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, this is happening on Disney Plus. We are seeing a crossover between Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which is a show that people like to pretend that little kids watch, and Bluey, a show that little kids actually do watch.
Yeah, so, I can testify that Marvin is correct on both counts there.
I can as well.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is forgettable trash, and Bluey is culturally relevant and actually tells deep stories in a preschool format. I'm shocked at how deep some of that stuff gets.
I hear you on that one, Jonas. I'm like, I look at my husband. I'm like, did you catch that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's in Bluey.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny, though. It's perfect the way they do it. It's so perfect. It's so clean. You know, it's just.
Yeah. They sanitized Mickey Mouse, who was an actual character, and turned him into hey, do you want to come inside my clubhouse? I have had two children that without the concept of irony being in their hearts would just have no whenever he would ask that. Bluey, however, is a story about a family and multi-generational value of family. And I mean, I don't want to be one of those adults who just gushes about Bluey, but it's remarkable how much they talk about life and moments in life and parenthood,
real stuff.
And the there's an episode where they're at the lake with the grandfather who has heartworms. The end of that episode is, I'm just going to say the word, it's beautiful. There is nothing like that attached to Mickey Mouse.
Are you talking about the one with the mom saying goodbye to the dad because he's like getting older, and they go on that little boat? That was a cute episode. I don't know if you saw that one. Yeah.
And she said, the mom ends up sitting down at the dock with the grandfather. And she says, this was so long ago. And he says, no, it was yesterday. And I'm almost tearing up thinking about this. It's a great show.
It's a great show.
Or there's an episode with almost no words whatsoever that is all about Bingo learning to sleep in her own bed. And there's this, they have this score on it, which I've talked about on the Pro Show recently, that is done to Gustav Holst's Jupiter, which is one of the most beautiful scores that has ever been recorded or composed. And again, just great moments, and it's a preschool show. So this sitting next to, hey, let's do the hot dog dance. Okay, sure. Yeah, let's act like that's the same thing.
Mediocre next to magnificent, basically.
Poor Marvin. Marvin was going somewhere before we took over.
I have nothing to add to this because I'm like, you guys being able to wax about this show is great because you have children. Whereas I have no kids yet, so I should not be watching Bluey, and adults that do are weird. So, I have had childless adults say to me, you have to watch Bluey, and I'm like, no, I don't. I
kind of get it. So let's pivot slightly to talk about the facts of this. Bluey was something that Disney acquired the streaming rights and not the merchandising rights to in 2019. Dana Walden passed on getting the theme park and merchandising rights to Bluey. This is one of the biggest mistakes that they have ever made. It's also understandable. Why did they do this? Because they were focusing, and this is not our reporting, this is Bloomberg's reporting, so take it up with Bloomberg if anybody disagrees with this. They said they were going to be focusing on their own IP. This is all at the same time that Disney Plus was drawing more of a family focus on what kids were watching on streaming, just like parents were becoming aware of what's being taught in schools in 2019 and 2020. Parents were now suddenly very aware of what their kids were watching because it was right there on the main screen. Bluey becomes a cultural phenomenon. And again, according to Bloomberg, accounted for 1/3 of all streaming on Disney Plus. This is a show that is aimed at preschoolers. It was the largest show in the world on some months, according to Nielsen. So this is a huge show, and Mickey is a corporate trademark that they're trying to do business off of at this point. This is something that Disney lucked into, and they need to hold on to it for dear life.
Well, Jonas, you're telling me that Dana Walden made a hard pass on this, and how long ago was that? And now she sits where John Lasseter sat. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. 7 years ago,
great.
they said no. Thankfully, the Ludo Studios people have said Disney kinda, I guess they could say something about an episode, but not really. So Disney literally
they're crossing
has
over
to do
now with Mickey Mouse. I mean, they're doing these shorts. This is a Bluey thing that Disney will have direct creative control over.
Well, and that'll be the moment that they actually have gay stuff in Bluey.
Yeah,
I cannot even. They can't ruin Bluey. My gosh.
Well, speaking of Bluey, guys, we did just see Bluey debut in Disneyland this week, and let's take a look at some of these crowds because I just want to make sure the screen switches.
I can't wait to see all the joyous children.
Yeah, right. I'm so glad we're covering this, Marvin.
This is out of nowhere. It went from we are done for the day with capacity to queue opened and no line control, just shove in for Bluey's best day ever. And look at all of those people.
All adults.
Oh, there is a kid there, I think.
There's some kids. Yeah, there's a lot of weirdo adults there.
More adults than children.
Yeah.
They can't all be theme park reporters.
You guys say, I gotta say, I was not expecting this kind of turnout for the Bluey show at Fantasyland Theater in Disneyland. Take a look at that. That is a lot of adults.
It makes it sound like whoever posted that was a fresh bake. I guess not a parent of a preschooler.
Well, I don't think anyone in this line is a parent of a preschooler.
Yeah. So this is huge for Disneyland, and I think the what this really says is Disney has actually lost touch with the child audience at this point. They have adult properties that they're trying to make into preschool stuff. Like they're doing an Iron Man preschool show right now. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get the drunk. Let's turn the drunk into a preschool character. That's fantastic.
Here's the terrible thing here, Jonas, is that they've done this thing for preschoolers, and how many preschoolers are not going to be able to get anywhere near it because all these adults are trying to get in there?
Yeah.
This is a bigger crowd than when the Villains show debuted.
Yep.
Way bigger crowd.
Well, just this is something that is currently culturally relevant, whereas Villains is a Disney brand, and that's fine. And you know, I like Nightmare Before Christmas as much as the next person, but Bluey is possibly the biggest show on the planet. It's not currently in production. They're working on the movie right now, which good on Disney for getting the distribution rights to that. But this is huge, and Disney got lucky. So they needed to show up with the checkbook. I had a long stream a long thread on Twitter a while back trying to make it clear to some of the producers at Ludo Studios, like, you do understand the entirety of Disney Plus is being propped up by your property. This thing that they have put $100 billion into trying to make it work. They are leaning so hard into Bluey on there that if BBC Studios on their behalf is not negotiating a $10 billion contract, they're not seriously $10 billion, but a huge, like something with 12 figures on it to keep Bluey on that platform, then they're doing a disservice to Ludo Studios.
I agree. Yeah. Ludo Studios should have all of the advantages in any kind of negotiation, because they could right now, if Disney was like, no, we want this, this, and this, they can go to Universal, they could go to Warner Brothers, they can go to Paramount, they can go to any other streaming service, and like David Ellison would throw the bank at them.
Do you want Oracle?
Take all the money. I'm not familiar with this auditorium. How many people can be seated? Because I heard it was a nightmare that
this is the Fantasyland Theater, is it?
Okay.
I think we have someone who can comment on that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I think we just might, Jonas. It's Culture Casino.
Perfect timing, Culture.
Oh, wow. You know what? This is actually a substantial area. At one point in time, this hosted, this is the Fantasyland Theater. It hosted the nightly video dance party that they had in the summer. I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of that was. Videopolis. Thank you, Jonas. And I did participate many times, in my Quicksilver gear in the dance party. So it was a lot of fun in the 80s and 90s. But
what a time to be alive.
It does host, but it has if they haven't changed the footprint, which I'm not sure they did significantly when they were remodeling for Star Wars Land, Black Rock Spire, whatever it is called now. Then if they didn't change the footprint, this is a pretty decent sized space with a decent sized stage and screen, and
it can hold a lot of adults now.
It really can.
Okay.
It really can. It was a flat surface, and then to add seating, they pull out portable chairs and such.
But now, guys, what does this tell us about what it's going to be like? Because once again, let's take a look at the lines to get into this thing. What are the lines now going to be like for that train to get to Rafiki's planet?
Right. Because this is the only thing that's going into Disney's Animal Kingdom until Tropical Americas opens back up.
Can you imagine that waiting to board the train?
That little train is not gonna. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can't. Holy cow!
And then getting off the train after you've waited in that to stand in that.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Back probably the entire way from the Planet Watch all the way to the train station.
And it's summer in Florida too, so it's good unless they have covering for you to like shaded areas. Holy cow!
I think this is going to smell like a convention floor on Sunday.
Yeah, it very well might. It very well might, guys. So Bluey is popular. Disney has learned that, both in terms of streaming and now in theme parks. We have seen it bring Disneyland to a screeching halt. What now will we see when Bluey comes to Walt Disney World this summer?
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.